My name is Casey and I'm the Rumble Right Dad, and I've been a therapist for 13 years, and I hear one thing over and over again when people come in with prior therapy experience. I ask them, did you get anything out of that? What did you take with you? What is your experience through therapy? Did you get any benefit? And the answer over and over is, I got nothing. I remember nothing. I used nothing. Let's be careful about not wasting our time and take a look at why therapy is failing men. Your therapist might be more interested in recycling your trauma for billable hours than they are for actual truth and meaning, and they are afraid to challenge you because affirmation is the foremost way that many therapists just continue and perpetuate the problems that their clients come in with. And this ultimately is a philosophical problem, because if you don't have a therapist who is basing their life philosophy on something that's valuable, then it would be hard pressed for them to help you shoot at a target that might actually provide the juice you need to move through whatever you're going through. If they tell you to come in, talk about your feelings, and handhold you through that, you are paying to have a friend. You are giving a verbal prostitution fee, and that is something that I want to help you avoid. And ultimately, I want my industry to improve and increase in foundational truth so that they can actually be helpful to the individuals that come in with real problems. That's why I've persisted in this industry, even though it drives me crazy. And I've seen the corruption from the inside, and I've tried to report this to legislators. I've tried to help the industry in practical ways to get better, but without a foundation in truth, how can we point people in a direction that's useful for them? Over 80% of social workers are female, and those graduating higher education at this point that are social workers are actually scoring exceedingly lower on IQ tests than are their peers that are graduating in other industries. So when a man walks in for treatment, they are getting likely the feminine perspective, which men heal shoulder to shoulder, women heal face to face. And so if all you're getting is the face-to-face, friendship-coded, female-coded interaction, it's quite possible that this is the reason why men don't trust the therapeutic industry. My industry has become a rumination recycling machine that is more about coddling and even therapeutic language, which has overtaken our culture. It is the new religion of the Western civilization that we live in. And so it's more about experiencing your trauma. The body keeps the score, and everybody's traumatized all the time, and everyone else is a narcissist, and just talking through all this therapeutic language. And in a way, it externalizes the problem so that people feel better. Like, that's just my mental illness. I can't help it. It's my mental illness. That is a load of crap. Most mental illnesses are not chronic, meaning you can resist, you can recover, you can put it into remission. But if you want to just rubber stamp your problems and externalize them, that might make you feel better for a time, but it will not provide the real solutions that you need to be able to forego having to go to therapy forever and paying a verbal prostitute to just listen to your problems when they're not helping you. If you walked away from therapy with nothing, you're not crazy. That is very typical. And you just entered into a system that was more interested in protecting its own institutional power than actually helping you. Do not be dismayed. There are ways out of this. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that I believe the foundation in the truth of what God says in His Word is a paramount way to try to protect ourselves from mental unrest. When people in our ancient ancestors used to need to be able to be resilient in the face of incursion during, raids from external sources, they used to pray. They used to perform religious rituals. They used to pray the rosary or do other, fasting and prayer and other things that are just so intertwined with getting better or being able to tolerate stress. But now that that has been taken out of the mix, what we're supposed to do is grounding and all these other things that, while they may provide a distraction, do they provide the philosophy necessary to work through to a higher calling, to a higher purpose, to a meaning that's outside of ourselves? So you do want to externalize your problem. Instead of rubber stamping your mental illness, let's rubber stamp a higher power, their existence, and the fact that that calling can bring us to bear a lot of hardship, a lot of obstacles we can bear because there is a higher purpose to our suffering. I might be the only right-wing coded therapist left, but you will come here not to hear about victimhood, but about how can we found ourselves in the truth and move forward, because like Jordan Peterson says, the utmost life you can live is one that's founded and grounded in what's true. And if you live in that, you can live a better life. Even if you've been diagnosed with mental health issues, even if you've been to therapy and it didn't work, you can live a better life. And just because you're getting recycled in a machine that's more interested in profit than you doesn't mean that you can't get better. We can do this together. And if you really need help finding a therapist that might work for you, or just a purpose that might work for you, please reach out to me at rumblerightdad@gmail.com. I'd be happy to speak with you. And of course, that would be free because I just want to help you for real. Let's do this together.